Beautiful. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Project Transcend podcast. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart. What's going on, Arin? How are you doing today, man?
Back to another show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are here for another episode. I'm pretty excited for this, man. We got some fun topics for everybody. Let's start it off.
Well, I'm excited.
All right, man. What are your thoughts on AI technology?
You get AI technology?
Yes,
AI technology?
Yes. So something from, like, I've seen songs that artists haven't even created, and AI is, like, sounding just like them.
I think there have been some like solid remixes of like Patrick singing some R&B, SpongeBob hitting some like sick lines on a rap beat. Like that kind of AI play is cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like how it just scrapes. Like it could scrape like Kendrick Lamar, mix it with Drake, and make it like a bossa nova. Like that, you know how insane that is that they can do that, and it's probably something fire. Like and it goes into like a deeper topic, but I'm definitely against that idea of it.
Yeah.
Like as long as if they're gonna pay royalties to them, sure. Like,
Okay, I didn't even think of that.
There's a whole nother podcast on this. We'll
I saw a video of Post Malone talking about how someone can use his voice, make a song that is built for them and their problem and their issue, and then it takes away from like his entire creativity as Post Malone. You know? And it's kind of scary, man, like when you think about what AI is becoming.
It is. I feel like it's that like lurking thing that it's been here.
Yeah.
AI technology has been growing and learning. We just dismissed it because it sucked.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't worth putting in like even 2 more seconds of trying to search to see if it would come up. But I mean, Siri, all the other AI technologies like the Echo Dot system, all of those have been like just lingering in the background, collecting
Siri,
data. I use Siri as like quick reminders.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, you ever do like Siri? Remind me at like 10 o'clock to like take my meds.
I wish I had my phone with me. I'll say, "Hey Siri," and she'll go, She won't even like say yes. She just me. It's so rude. Like my Siri does not rock with me at all, man.
Do you use Siri a lot? Do you ever say thank you to Siri?
Huh?
Did you ever say thank you?
This new iPhone 13 Siri doesn't like me though. Like ever since I got the iPhone 13, the Siri just me. So yeah, man. With that being said, have you looked into or heard of any of like these aliens?
Aliens. Oh,
did you see that guy at the I forget what it's called, maybe the Supreme Court. Don't quote me on it. I'm not an expert in that. But he was saying how like he was just basically whistleblowing on all the alien tech and that aliens are real. Have you seen that at all?
no, I haven't seen that.
Okay, bruh. They're saying alien, like he is literally whistleblowing. Like, again, I don't know enough information. I wish I would have been more prepared.
Give me like the highlight. Like what happened?
So
exactly?
again, I don't know if it's the Supreme Court, okay? But he's in a suit, he's at the courtyard, and they're actually talking about, like, yes, there are findings of extraterrestrial. Brother, I can't speak.
We're aliens.
It's so hard.
The aliens.
Yeah, bro. But there's basically he's saying that we have found aliens. Like, and this isn't in like a conspiracy theory like concept, and it could just be okay. I'm diving into some conspiracies now.
Okay, here we go.
My thoughts are all this alien talk that's been going on. It's like, what are you hiding from us? Like from the common people. Like, what are you actually hiding?
Like, was it real? Were we on the moon first?
Yeah.
Did the Russians beat us?
So this is my conspiracy, brother. I'm going to rewind us all the way back to, I think it's like 2018, 19. You remember when Ebola, were you in Dallas, Texas?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you remember when Ebola, and they said, oh, Ebola hit Dallas. And like there was one case of Ebola in Dallas. But do you remember the plane that got lost over Malaysia?
No.
Because Ebola just took over. Ebola was something, and again, I'm doing a conspiracy.
Okay.
But there was this plane that got lost. And then out of nowhere, when it became like big news, Ebola was here. So this is my theory on when things are happening, that they push the narrative, like they're hiding something else. And this is my little conspiracy moment, but at the same time, like I don't have no facts behind it. I'm just just
we're spitballing, yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, man, I'm actually surprised that you didn't hear about this alien like conversation that was happening at the Supreme Court.
There was some released footage, or I guess like, what is it? They have like not clarity. What is it like? They have clearance.
Yeah.
They have clearances. There was a declassified stuff that was released from the White House, like footage of the aliens and whatnot. And really, what it is it's a night cam footage of like what looks like an F-16 jet just kind of flying, chilling, and then you just, I swear, this could be like. It was probably at night.
Yeah.
You know what it looks like. So you have the crosshairs of like the camera just like scanning. You see the F-16 come into frame. It's just chilling. It just sits about like on the cuticle, and then you just see this like saucer go. Yeah. He's just like, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, ooh.
Are you into any type of conspiracies? Like, do you think the Earth is flat?
You know, I think if God made us, you know, what's to say He doesn't have another creation, like somewhere far, far away? Would He have us collide? I don't know. I will pray for it.
Yeah.
I will ask Him, like, what's your purpose with this?
Yeah.
But to be honest, like, if that's the way it is, it's the way it is. Like, I don't think that we would be alone given the expansion of the universe. But also, that's up to God.
Well, that's aliens. Like, I'm talking about government conspiracies. Like, do you think, like, for example, some people think 9/11 was staged.
Oh, okay, like conspiracy stuff.
Yeah.
I do think that there are like some true conspiracies
Do you
out
believe in
there.
lizard people?
Have
you heard
that? I've heard of lizard people. I've heard of like water not even being real. I've heard.
Or is water wet?
Is water wet? That's always. Oh my god.
Is water wet, Aaron?
It is technically wet.
When though? When is water wet?
So. I don't want to go into like super soluble or insoluble factors of water. Oh my god, I can't really back it up. I just feel you want to stay there and just be like, "Oh, water's wet." But I feel water has to be wet. Maybe it's just like the sliding friction that we have because water is of its own substance. It's treated actually in aerospace engineering. It's treated the same as air. Just because you're moving through it. Now, it has less resistance in certain cases, you know, what pilots have to deal with, versus like if they're going through a storm, you know, like those kind of rain droplets. But if you're moving through like straight water, gosh, that's a whole nother thing because a lot of it's oxygen, but then you got hydrogen particles in there. So like, what is water?
So this is my theory, brother. I'm going to simplify this. Like you went deeper than I would have. When you're submerged in water, and I might be dumb right now. I'm down to be dumb. Like, I'm open for it.
He's humble. He's humble. Yes.
When you're in water, you're not wet. Once you get out of water into air and dry land, you are wet then. But once is water actually wet? Is it wet once you are in a dried surface? I might sound freaking stupid right now.
Well, once you jump in, let me ask you this. Once you jump into, is a fish wet? Oh my God. I hate this right now for me. Once you jump into the water, you're saying you're not wet.
When you're submerged in water. You're technically not wet. You're only wet once you get, I'm blowing your mind right now. I can see.
I don't like this. I don't like this. I know there's something I'm missing here that like could debunk your whole situation right now.
Like, I know I'm wrong. But, like, water's not wet until you're out of water is my theory.
And the air touches it, and it makes sense. I hate this. I'm researching this tonight. Oh, my God. I'm not going to sleep.
Goodness. All right, brother. So
I'm going to call you at 3 o'clock in the morning and be like, water's not wet because of these 3 reasons.
The earth is flat.
The earth is flat. I feel so bad for, like, flat earth theorists out there. I'm just like, I get that you wanted to be an activist for something. You chose the wrong topic. Like, go for global warming.
All right, devil's advocate. We don't know.
We couldn't know. We couldn't know. But if you have...
Fish lens the Earth from outer space.
Like, what if it's the lenses? Like, it's actually flat? And, like, the astronauts are, like, even the glass on NASA's fish lens?
Why do they practice in water?
Well, that's for gravity reasons. Because you can't...
Is it? Is it actually for gravity or is it water? Because there's theorists for flat Earth that are saying that the reason why the sky is blue is because the sky is water.
Because the sky is
like water. That's another layer of water out there, and that's why it rains. Like there's leakage in Again, brother.
You're gonna have to give me a Snickers before we get into this, because I'm starting to get.
Anyways, let me go to the next thing real quick. How do you like your steaks, brother?
I like my steaks medium rare.
Medium rare. Okay.
Medium's cool too. Sometimes, like if that means that per the restaurant, per the restaurant, if they sear it well and they sear it hot at the right temperature, it's gonna create that crust. It's gonna be a great steak, and that's a great medium or medium rare in that case. But I will take a medium if their chefs are not comfortable with like hot pans and just like throwing it down for 2 minutes aside.
Luckily, Texas Roadhouse has amazing rolls because they mess my steak up every single time.
No, tell me, brother, what happened?
Well,
Who hurt you?
Texas Roadhouse. That is who hurt me. I want a medium steak, and they just always like give it to me medium well. And at the end of the day, the rolls are so fire that it's like, and I'm not the type of person to send a dish back.
Yeah,
Really
we're too nice.
Yeah,
Like,
bro. I don't want them spitting on my food. So,
were you a waiter at some point, bartender?
I was a busboy and a waiter at a hibachi grill.
Ooh. Hi.
Nani.
Yeah, dude. If you've ever stepped foot in a restaurant, worked in a restaurant, worked in service industry in general, you know how hard it is.
Yeah.
And like I never wanted to be that person. The only thing that ticks me off are the small things.
Ooh.
Like when they run out of silverware, I know someone didn't do their job.
Yes.
Some of the closer or the opener was just too lazy. I'm like, I'm so sorry. And they just like throw
I like that you put it in the
forks.
closer and the opener, and not the busboys.
No, I was a busboy.
Yeah, same, brother.
Dude.
Same.
The only thing I regret is not leveraging my busboy like powers more.
Oh, bro. What? Yeah.
Yeah. So like you ever like skip a section, like a waiter, waitress you didn't like?
Well, I skipped it because they were taking too long. Like
Ooh.
to finalize like their check, like send the check out to them. Because I'm watching. As a busboy, you're sitting there, like you see when they're done with the food. You see when the waiter went over there or the waitress went over there to are you done with your meal? Like, can I take your plates?
A pre-bus.
Yeah, exactly. And so like.
See, I liked working closer with waiters, waitresses that would pre-bus.
Yes, yeah. Oh, bro.
They knew.
I love those people.
Exactly. They were thinking about us. They were thinking about the small man on the
Person are
bottom.
you, not a waiter, not a host, as a customer? Do you pre-stack all your plates?
Absolutely, without a doubt. I look at them and I'm just like, my whole table just gets condensed onto one serving
Makes
tray.
it easy for them.
I remember, so Caroline and I were in, where were we? We were out at a wedding, one of my coworkers' weddings in Louisiana. And it was Cinco de Mayo.
Okay.
It was this past Cinco de Mayo. So we were out in Louisiana, like Lafayette-ish, and it's popping.
Yeah.
Like they got like 2 bars next to each other, 2 DJs. I swear, like it was like a DJ album. It was like busting, and there's like a 3-hour-long wait. And so Caroline and I are just chilling. We're like, okay, what are we gonna do? So we get some like high noon. So we're chilling. We eventually get seated like after an hour because we were patient.
Yeah.
And we weren't like berating the hostess stand with like our inconveniences. We got sat. We had our meal. We pre-bussed for the waitress.
Yeah.
And the waitress was just like, oh my God, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's been such a hard day. Like, you guys are the first table to ever do this. And that just reinvigorated the idea, like, okay, we'll just do this.
Yeah.
It's so easy for us. We're just sitting here. Like, I don't.
Make it easier for them. It's just a small extra, like 10 seconds.
And then I'm still tipping them at the end.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Man. Well, I assumed you didn't tip. No, I'm just playing.
No, always do tip.
Yeah.
But to be honest, like my counter question.
Okay.
What do you do if it's bad service?
I'll still tip.
You still tip. What do you tip?
I'll still clean it up. I'll still tip, like whatever the regular.
What do you tip though?
At the end
If
of
it's
the-
bad
If
service.
it's bad service, what's the traditional 20%?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, I'll still tip that. Like even
still tip 20%?
Like it has to be really bad service for me not to tip.
okay.
Like, and I really try to think of their position. Like in that moment, I might not be assessing like how busy it is, but brother, like since I've been in the food service, like I'm gonna tip. Like
100%.
I think people who are waiters and hosts and whatever, however they do a tip share, whatever it is, even if you're having a bad day, like I get it, like, and I'm still gonna tip you, like whatever, because you're making what, half of minimum wage, probably, which is ridiculous, by the way. I feel like all of waiters, hosts, busboys should be making minimum wage, and then they should get tips after that. Like they shouldn't be working for tips. Like what is that? That's
Well, I mean, like, so in history, restaurants were made off of so much debt.
Yeah.
Even then, it would take a lot of money.
Yeah.
The equivalent of what it is today is, some inflation, but they would get paid every 2 weeks, and the tips were actually to help pay them. Because the restaurant, when it originally started, wouldn't be able to pay out for like a salaried position for waiters and waitresses.
Yeah.
So they were paid bi-weekly and then had like a supplemental tip base so that it wouldn't pull out of direct income from the restaurant starting out. So the restaurant would have more.
You already got more information than I know.
Well, that's the jacked up part is like a lot of like, if it's a successful restaurant now, why are you still on 2 weeks pay?
Yeah.
Why don't you pay them at a higher rate minus like a little bit more of the tip percentage and take that tip percentage and put it into something else.
Yeah, I would rather them do tip share, which almost seems unfair, right? A tip share with everyone in the business or all the waiters, all the
If you don't know what a tip share is like a certain percentage. All of it's pulled in for the night after like from between hours, and then it's shared busboy to waiter, waitress to like dishwasher.
Yeah, and from my experience, the busboys still got minimum wage, but it's the waiters and hosts that played off, I'm so sorry, just waiters and waitresses that had to get less than minimum wage because they're getting more of the tips in a sense. Again, this was a hibachi grill, but I just think that like it should be tip share and then minimum wage. Like you should get minimum wage and then you should get a tip share, or screw the tip share, minimum wage, and you should just get the tips for the table you're working. Like I just don't understand why like we're paying waiters, we're going down a rabbit hole, but paying waiters and waitresses $4, $3 an hour, and then they have to work for the tip. It's like, give them minimum wage and they should enjoy the tip. It's a tip for a reason.
It should be a percentage on top of the overall,
Yeah.
off of like the hard work, dedication, authenticity of the service that you've been providing or in the customer service, what you got.
Yeah.
Like that sounds a lot better.
Yeah.
But from the other side of the bench, like restaurants are only making so much margin.
Okay.
Now the biggest thing are the
Fair.
bartenders, which haven't even gotten to the bartenders yet.
Yeah.
Liquor and wine sales outbeat everything. That's why owning a bar is both like conceptually easy but hard to pull off.
Okay. Have you ever been a bartender?
I have. Yep.
Oh, not me. I've only been on the other side of the bar. Well, speaking of some form of pet peeves, gym pet peeves.
Dude.
What are your gym pet peeves? I'm going to be honest, I thought about this for a while, and I don't have as many as you may think I do.
Really?
I really don't.
Really?
I have 2 bullet points for that.
I'm so surprised.
Yeah.
For everyone, like Matt is like freaking anal about some things. Like, they have to be.
I think
away.
I'm more of a pet peeve on how trainers train than I am about a facility and gym and the moments in a gym. So maybe I might have some more bullet points as we start diving into it, but
fair.
from what I wrote down on what my gym pet peeves are, it's not as much as you may think. So
Okay, I'll start this out. My biggest pet peeve in the gym, not biggest, I think like top 10 are weights that are different brands.
brother, okay.
And they're like all mixed up. I can't do it. I can't be around it. My OCD. So like I'm the one like, I hate this so much. Like I'll get there. I will aggressively throw my things down because I'm already upset about the situation. Got to reorganize everything.
Okay.
Like you start at the top. What do you have at the top of the rack? What do you have at the top of the rack, man?
Oh, like 2.5s and 5s. Well, 5s and then 2.5s if you actually have to stack them.
Thank you. If you have enough space on the rack system itself, you start with the heaviest weights towards the inward, and then you just get lighter as you go out. So you can pull off, it's easier to pull off the lighter weights and then get to the heavier weights at the back. That's how the system works. That's how it's supposed to be. Okay. Take a deep breath. But yes, if you have like a rubberized weight next to a like non-rubberized, like just full metal, whatever casting it is, 45-pound plate, and then it's sandwiched between another full rubberized 45-pound plate, I'm done. I'm not using that rack. Like there are some situations you ever go to a rack and you just...
I'm going to be honest, I'm that guy. If I see it, I'm putting it on the ground, and I'm just going to leave it on the ground during my set. Like I'm not going to like fix it in that moment. Like I'm a little petty. It's like never put the 45, 45, 25, 45, 45 on there at the bottom. Like you're annoying. Like what are you doing? Oh, I'm going to piggyback this. I used to do it, but now I'm a little OCD with it. But like, if you're gonna put on your bar that you're squatting or benching, and you're working out with a friend, I kind of understand the concept, but like, if you have a 45, a 25, and then another 45 on top of your bar, I've seen people do that.
What?
Because they're working out with a friend.
Oh, to change sets easier.
Change the sets easier, but it just looks crazy.
No.
It looks so crazy.
Get your fat butt in gear.
Yeah.
Doing squats overhead. No.
Take the time to re-rack it properly. Like,
Yes.
You're benching and squatting more than I am, but we take the time to make it look nice.
We have never talked about this because of gym standard.
Yeah.
You make it look nice.
Exactly.
You don't mess around with a 45, 25, 45. Like, great, you can bench 275 or 215 or whatever. Like, if you make it look weird, you've lost my respect. Even if it's like 315 pounds.
Yeah.
And you had 2 plates, a 25, and then another like miscellaneous weird stuff.
Yeah.
Like in between, you lost my respect. I'm sorry. That looked wrong.
What's another gym pet peeve that you have?
Oh my gosh. Okay, hold up. I had a lot. I had too many. Okay, this is one that I don't like.
Okay.
Let's say that you're a gym owner, right? And you have 2 squat racks. Typically, they'll have like a squat rack and then another row of squat racks, all cage-like setups. I hate narrow walkways. Like, why don't we think about when there's people in the space and you have to walk?
To re-rack, to put weights on.
Yes.
Is that what I mean? Like,
Oh,
from the squat racks, not the aisle on the back end. Like, not 2 squat racks like this, but 2 squat racks like this. Like, when you're facing that way, 2 squat racks mirror that way.
I think the same. Yeah. Both.
Oh,
both.
Okay.
Yes. So if they're back to back, like across from each other, is this walkway enough space? And then is there enough space between the racks? Okay. Because if you have to re-rack or take more.
So that's what I'm going at, and I'm not going to call out the gym that we go to, but if you notice that it's so freaking close. Like, the other day we were squatting and someone else was squatting next to us, and they were waiting for us to finish our re-rack so they could get in there and re-rack because you could not stand. It'd be butt to butt, basically.
Oh yeah, like we're all doing some kind of bent over row, squat. We're all hinging at our hips. I'm not trying to touch butts. Like, nah, bro, I don't know you.
No, I hear you, man, and I've never liked that about the gym that we go to, is like they have great equipment there. I love that gym, but something about the squat, they give more space to the powerlifting squat area, but for the non-powerlifting squat area, it's so tight. Like, you can move everything over like 8 inches and then just spread it out just a little bit. All we need is about 8 inches. So that's
that is one of my hugest pet peeves are like narrow walkways, because there's nothing like standing, like trying to like walk the line, mind your own business, because we're respectable men in the gym, minding our own business, and then just the Hulk on one side, and then you got like a female influencer on the other who's like, oh, I don't want to be like in this action, and I'm definitely not grinding butts like against the Hulk over here because he's gonna throw his 300 pounds at me. Just kind of dodging and weaving. I don't like it.
I hear you, man. Like, and I agree. All right, man. Well, this is gonna touch a lot of nerves. Oh, no. One of my biggest pet peeves in the gym, and I have 2 bullet points. I'm probably gonna piggyback off of a lot of the stuff that you're saying.
Okay.
But one of my biggest things is when you're on the treadmill at a very high incline. Why are you holding on to the brace? You're not even getting the work that you're looking for. Like, you might as well lower the incline and walk with no hands. Like, in all fairness, the people I would give some slack to, if you're on a stair stepper, I get it. Like, at a certain moment, you can rest on there. But the treadmill is my biggest pet peeve. If you're doing cardio at a 12 incline, why are you holding on to the brace? Like, you might as well do it at a 6 incline and do the same exact work. Like,
so what are you taking away from trying to balance your upper body? So like it's funny because Matt called me out
on the stair stepper. That's different. I'll let it slide a little bit more on the stair stepper.
This is true. But I mean, I see so many people just full of arm. They're like breathing on the screen. You know what I mean? Like that's how hunched over they
I
are.
feel like you can get more work by doing less time at a higher intensity. Like instead of going 45 minutes and 40 of those minutes are hunched over or holding onto the treadmill, like do 20 minutes and don't hold anything. You'll get more work.
That's on like you're trying to load your lower half.
Yeah.
That's literally it. If you don't want to practice, you're gonna just take longer. But if you don't want to practice being under your own load at that kind of incline, what you're saying is like it's gonna take away.
Yeah.
Like you're not getting the full effect of being you're underneath your own load because you're supporting half of your load somewhere else. So you're just cheating yourself.
Yeah, brother. And that's if you're out there doing that, I'm not bashing you for yes, I am. Yes, I am, actually. Stop doing that. Stop it. Stop putting your hands on the treadmill. Stop putting your hands on the stair stepper. Just go less time.
Do better. Do better.
Be better.
Be better.
Yes. Like I'm judging you. I know I'm not supposed to be judging, but I'm judging you. All right.
It's not our job at the end of the day,
Yeah.
Judge. But while we are walking past you, we're gonna look at you and be like, I know where your mindset is.
Yeah. Look, all right, man. I'm just gonna dive into my next 2 bullet points. They're super simple, but dirty
Hit
gyms.
me. Oh,
Not a fan.
that's actually one of my pet peeves.
Oh, brother. And I'm not so messy gyms and dirty gyms are 2 different things. I can deal with things being unorganized. I'm gonna be honest. Like my brain's unorganized. I can't judge someone if they're unorganized because I'm unorganized. But a dirty gym, like if I look at the bottom of a treadmill and I see like dust, like that bothers me. If I look at a squat rack and you can just tell that like just something as simple as the dust motion on there could like take that off, like that bothers me a lot.
Dude, these are very hyper like aware. Like you have to be around a lot of gyms to notice where the dust collects.
Yeah.
Like you got to hit some weird angles too. I'm talking about like getting under the squat rack, like looking up.
Yeah.
Like that's some.
That's the angle. Look, okay, maybe that's not the angles I'm looking at. But whenever I'm doing like stretches, or if I need to sit down and do like a butterfly stretch randomly, like, and I look down and I see like just gunk. You know what? Let me rephrase that. Dust might not bother me at all, but if I see gunk, that's where it's nasty. It bothers me. Yeah, man. Just a dirty gym.
Dirty gym to me is like, I think like you have like the one bench that's been there since like the inception of the gym, right? I think anybody who's like been to a gym that's been open for a while knows this bench, and you know it because the headrest is all messed up. It's got that few cracks right there, and the sweat just drips into the foam. Get it out. It's done. It lived its life. It served many a great.
Get it out. Like, get it out of there.
Dude, if I see duct tape on that bench, I'm not touching it.
Now, this is where I might be silly or contradict everything I'm saying. If you have garage doors somewhere in your gym, I'm going to give you all the slack in the world because it's a garage gym at that point. I'm not expecting a lot from those type of gyms. Like, if you know you're that grungy, like, just kind of garage vibe gym, then I'm going to give you a lot more slack. But if you got AC blowing in that joint, and you know, and you got like custodial staff like working, I'm gonna judge it if it's messy, like trash cans full, like and just like all
hand sanitizers out.
Yeah, exactly. Like those are the type of stuff that like gets to me in the gym. And I might be super picky on that, but it's just my thing.
You know, there's like a thought process. Like I would love for like all members at a gym to like use the wipe down materials, right? Like the little baby wipe stuff they got. But even at that rate, depends like. I don't know, hack squat.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually going to ruin the vinyl on the hack squat faster because it's dried out.
Yeah.
Like, and that sucks. But it's clean most of the time. But replace pads on the hack squat machine, expensive.
Okay. All right, I'm going to give you a pet peeve that's a trainer pet peeve.
Ooh.
Oh, man. It's clients who don't want to sweat.
Oh!
Like, I used to have some clients who were like, can you turn the AC down or turn the fan on? And it's like, I mean, yeah, you're paying for a service. I can do that for you, but is that what's stopping you from finishing your 8th and 9th and 10th rep? No. You're just being weak. Like, you're just being a pansy. Like, quit worrying about that. Like, why don't you want to work, you know?
I think that's like accepting the environment, accepting the toll. There's like a lot of things that, you know, pre-training, you have to just prepare them for. as best as you can. But every client's going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like it's not like you can't flip on the fan. It's
Yeah.
not like you can't be of service. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, I think alongside training comes the mindset that
Yeah.
you're going to sweat.
Yeah.
Like if you don't want to sweat, I'll give you a hint right now. Go to Orange Crush, Orange Theory, whatever it is.
Orange Theory, yeah.
Orange, yeah. Crush is a totally different brand. Go to one of those. Like you may not sweat as much because you can pace yourself and you'll like blend in with the group, like group think. That's totally cool. Like group workouts.
But that's
Absolutely
what they
fine.
sell, to be honest. Orange Theory sells this like burn and sweat concept. Like I was just talking to my client last night, and I was telling them that my goal isn't to make you walk out of here just beat up. My goal isn't to make you walk out of here all sweaty and like, oh, my trainer put me through a great workout today. My goal is to like build strength, build coordination, balance, and stability. And then from there, like aesthetics will come. But if you're trying to change your body in 10 days, like not happening. Not happening.
That's a huge misconception of like you will lose in the first 2 weeks. In the first week, first day,
Yeah.
you're going to sweat out so much.
Yeah.
If you are not conditioned or not used to being in a fitness workout condition, I'm going off topic, but like,
You're good.
dude, that's just part of it. Like at the beginning of your journey, you're going to sweat it out.
Yeah.
Like
Speaking
that's,
of beginnings, what's one tip you would give a beginner?
you know,
Like what's your like if you had to boil it down to one thing, what would you tell a beginner? I don't even know if I have this answer ready for you.
make sure the plan works for you.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't tell, and I know you would agree with this, after doing like 75 hard, 50 hard, like these are all programmed mindsets. These are like, Goggins type stuff of like, we're going to like get everything from aspect of mental aspect to physical aspect, routine. I think it's good for that stuff, but I would not tell a beginner, go 50 hard, go 75 hard. No. The first thing I'm going to tell a beginner is make a plan that works for you.
Yeah.
I was actually talking to like one of the students that I work with, and it was like, they were like, I just can't get rid of my sweets. I'm sorry. I'm like, if I'm going to make it through this, like, this is like my stress snack.
Yeah.
And I looked at them and I said, it's okay.
Uh-huh.
You can have your sweets.
Yeah.
You can build it into your diet.
Yeah.
Like, just moderate consistency, a little bit of, and a lot more water, a little bit of this, a sprinkle of that. Like, it's so much easier for someone to hear that, and so much more relief off someone who thinks that they have to drink a gallon a day,
Yeah.
eat 2,000 calories only, and it has to be all protein.
Mm-hmm.
These are all the misconceptions.
9 times out of 10, it's just cutting out a little bit of stuff or just being consistent.
Yeah.
I think if I were to give any beginner like advice, it would be consistency more than anything. It would be, are you only doing 1 day a week where you're watching your diet? Like, and watching your diet at like 60 or 70%. Like, you don't even have to go crazy with it.
You don't have to go crazy with your diet and be like, I can't look at a slice of bread anymore.
Yeah.
Like, say goodbye to my favorite toast and jam in the morning.
Yeah, and at the same time, like, why are you trying to put yourself in that realm of, oh, I'm just going to cut cold turkey on everything? And then what's going to happen is you're going to just rebound and bounce back.
Dude, one word, cravings.
Yes, man. And so when you are on that journey, I would say find what can, like, kill your cravings in a good way. 9 times
Butter
out of
jelly sandwich.
a fat one. 9 times out of 10, you're just thirsty, or you just need something to like feel like your stomach or feel
Satiated.
Yes. So I always just drink water when I'm hungry first, and if I'm actually hungry after that, like I'll eat.
Isn't there a difference between like feeling hungry
Yeah.
because of situations and being like, maybe I need something to like get me through.
Yeah.
And being actually hungry.
Yeah, I think it's called ghrelin. It's this.
It's a chemical in the body that releases to let you know that you are
that
hungry.
you're hungry. Yeah, and so 9 times out. I'm making numbers up right now. That's actually what's like producing right now. Like you're not actually hungry. Like you're just craving, and just drink some water first. See if you're hungry from there.
If I could give some extra advice on top of like what we're talking about, do away with the snacking. Snacking, I hate. Oh god, I hate the fact that this only is like it's seconds. What my parents, everyone, like out there who's had like a parent, guardian, and or mentor that says, "Don't eat your bag of chips before dinner. It's gonna ruin your appetite." It absolutely does. Having those little snacks throughout the day that are unwarranted, filled with like empty carbs. Empty carbs are things that don't offer nutrition. They're just literally like a filler, but your body burns through that.
Yeah.
It was meant to be enjoyed via taste, and then afterwards, it's gone, and you're not satiated.
Yeah.
Like protein is a high satiating micronutrient or macronutrient, sorry. And so like I would do away with I would abolish side snacking,
Yeah.
which is going to make me a very unpopular person.
You can have smaller meals throughout the day. That's something that you can do. And depending on like your goals, like Arin is speaking on snacking for people probably who are trying to lose weight. Like if you're trying to gain weight, put weight on, then yes, you need multiple meals throughout the day. The biggest thing that I've tried to do in my journey is stop calling breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I know it might sound crazy, but it's meal 1, meal 2, meal 3, meal 4. Like, because who's to say that I can't have bacon at dinner? Like, why is breakfast just specifically these certain foods? So I will have like my lunch foods at breakfast. Like I will literally eat a half a cup of ground beef for breakfast.
I throw it in an omelet, like 100 grams,
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, and so I think for beginners, it's just, first of all, it's just starting it. I know I mentioned it before, but it's just getting in there and just starting. But at the same time, it's finding a plan that works for you, like you said, so I'm piggybacking off of that. Finding a plan that works for you.
Now, I have like a little question on the side. So I know a lot of beginners would go into the gym thinking high protein, I got to be here 7 days out of the week. I probably need to be on the treadmill for 30 minutes, and then I'll get to my routine. But they're not tracking anything. They're like, okay, maybe 30 minutes here, and then I YouTube a few items to like upper body chest movements, right? From some YouTube guru who gave like a small short about it on YouTube. But the whole other thing, what about supplements?
Okay.
Because they are pulled in to the gold standard whey protein, creatine, pre-workout, C4, and then you have the whole entire like Celsius stuff, all the other like sports brand stuff.
Yeah.
So what's your thoughts on like supplements for beginners?
So I'm all for supplements. At the same time, like I'm diving into a little bit more of like the routine and psychological side for beginners. If you get into this realm of I'm taking supplements, I'm taking like just some pre-workout, but yet you haven't built the habit to cook a meal, to sit down and spend the time to prep meals out. When you, one, can't afford the supplements, or two, you don't have any more, what are you going to like defer to? Fast food probably. So let's build the habit. I'm all for supplements, but let's build the habit of one, learning how to cook. One, you'll feel better. You'll feel more like gratification that like I made that meal, I cooked it. Yes, it took me an hour to cook this meal and I ate it in 10 minutes, but you will feel better as a person. Like you will feel more like full in a sense. Like now, granted, you might not feel it in that moment, but as time goes along, one, you're building a skill and learning how to cook. Two, you're taking care of yourself. And if you're ever going to be able to like take care of others, like you got to be able to know how to do stuff like that. And then implement the supplements afterwards. Now, if you're having some conditions, I'm not going to speak fully on that, but yeah, take your supplements. Like if you know that you can't like down 100 grams of chicken, like go ahead, get your drinks in. It's always easier to drink something than it is to chew and eat something.
It really is.
Yeah, so, but then with that being said, if you did prep a meal and you're not meeting your protein from there, I would say eat your meal and then drink. Don't drink your protein first. It's going to make you full. So one thing about the stomach, it's like a rubber band. So if you can't eat, an 800 calorie meal in one sitting, it's because you're just probably not conditioned to doing that. Take the time, like work up to it, eat 700, 500, and then your stomach will start to expand. So then you will start getting used to eating more calories per sitting.
That is the hardest thing. It's like,
if
you need to intake, for a male that's 190, you're at 190 grams of protein.
Yeah.
For maintenance, relatively. You could be at 0.8, but if you're skinnier
Yeah.
male at 190,
Yeah.
you got to intake more than that. You're at 210.
Yeah, and that's tough though. Like I'm working with clients right now who, like, I give them a range of protein to like intake, because they think 1,900 calories is crazy in a day, but what your goals are, you need to be eating more calories and more protein. And this is even for people who are trying to lose weight. Like a big like myth out there is, oh, I should be eating 900 calories a day, or I should just be doing so much cardio. No, cardio burns calories.
Yep.
Cardio burns calories. It doesn't build muscle. It just burns calories.
Can I jump
Yeah.
in with a quick pet peeve?
Okay.
I just like when people are like, I just want to get toned.
Yeah.
And I ask them, okay, what are you doing to get toned? I'm on the treadmill for 45 minutes.
No.
No.
And this is coming from someone who I enjoy running. I actually like to run. And I notice my physique changing when I run more. Like all that's doing, like I have to implement more calories when I'm running. So have you ever seen the marathon runner who runs 8 to 26 miles like all the time and they look out of shape?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's insane, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's because like their body is holding onto their fat for energy and just depleting their muscle storages at that point.
And have you ever noticed like some of the Iron Man
Yeah.
people they are thin.
Yeah.
They are so
There's no muscle on
thin.
those bodies. And don't get me wrong, like if that is your goal is to run marathons, go for it. I don't care.
Yes.
But you got to get some resistance training in there, and you got to be in a surplus, in my opinion. You have to be eating a lot.
Like that is the only time where I would say like eat as much pasta as you can. Get the extra carbohydrates.
Yeah.
You're gonna burn through it. Your ATP storages are going to be drained. If you don't have the endurance, like you are going to like have a tough start.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest like myth that's out there. I don't even know if it's a myth anymore. I feel like people are just unaware that like, and I'm a big cardio guy. You know that I run every day.
So he legitimately ran. What was it, like a 5K, 6K?
Like before our gym sessions.
No, not before our gym
Oh, I
sessions,
ran
which he
one
does
day
do.
about 2 weeks ago.
He ran a 10K in Texas heat. He ran a 10K outside in this humidity, which might as well you've been swimming in the
It
air.
was rough. I took my tank top off and just threw it. Like I never went and got it back. Like,
You want to tell him about that lady in front of you?
oh, bro, I was pacing this lady. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
A 65-year-old lady. Like, I don't know how old she was, but she looked old.
We're not trying to stereotype age or anything like that. She was definitely older than you.
She was 100% older than me. And so I was pacing her the whole way, and we're sitting at like maybe an 8-minute, 30-second pace. And I'm pacing her. I'm like, this is perfect. Initially, I was pacing this older guy, and he just was going probably at like a 9:40. But that was like my first 2 miles, and then I found this woman who was going to go faster. She stops and takes water like at the 4-mile marker. And at that point, I just keep going because I'm like, all right, well, I got 2 miles left in this run. I might as well just burn it out. Yeah, I shouldn't have. Like, but my ego was telling me to continue to run at this pace. It was at like a 7:50 pace at this point.
Woof.
Yeah, and at this point, it's getting hotter in Texas, so it's about maybe 7 a.m. at this point. And yeah, Texas 7 a.m. sucks.
Texas 7 a.m. is better than Texas 2 p.m.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. But anyways, I was pacing her and she stopped and I was struggling at the end, but I finished that run in Texas heat. But to kind of circle back on it, like I run every single day, but that's because one, I enjoy food. I like food. So I'm going to add some runs in so I can stay at a 2,600 calorie like deficit. I'm still at a deficit in my opinion at that point. Like
Yeah, you're at a
I need to be
deficit.
at a deficit at 2,600 calories a day, and I'm 6'2", 6'1", 3/4. Let me not lie to the people.
You want to check your driver's license?
Yeah, look, hey, look, check my driver's license. But I'm at a certain height and weight that like I need to be inputting certain amount of calories a day. And whenever I hear people talking about, oh, I need to eat like what I burn on my Apple Watch. Oh, pet peeve, Apple Watches.
Pet peeve?
Apple Watches, brother. Like I wear one right now. I'm wearing one right now. But right now, today, don't judge me, off day, I burned 335 calories today. But that's active calories on an Apple Watch. You have your Fitbit, right?
Yes.
Is it on right now?
It is on
Can you tell me what your calories have been burnt all day today?
1503.
1503, guys. Look at the difference between an Apple Watch and a Fitbit.
And it does not cost that much.
No,
like
Fitbits are cheaper than Apple Watches.
It's so affordable and so easy to get with a great background. If you want to talk about Fitbit.
I do actually. I want to dive right into this. I know this isn't on any of our points and topics, but my pet peeve about Apple Watches is I've had people come up to me and ask me, like, hey, Matt, I've been tracking my Apple burnt calories the last couple months, and I'm burning about 900 to 600 calories a day. So at a 500 calorie deficit, which is like the gold standard to lose weight, so I should only eat 200, 300 calories a day. And it's like, no.
What?
You should, at minimum, if you're a female or male, be eating females 1,500 calories a day, males 1,800 to 1,900 calories a day. And those are the generic numbers. Every person is different.
This is taking off like a lot of generic studies done on the population, like men at 60 to like 100 plus grams of protein a day, women around 30 to 45.
Yeah, and most people say body weight as well, but the thing about the Fitbit, it's tracking from your heart rate. Now, I understand all of these like tools they're not accurate down to the T, but it's a tool that you can use. Whereas the Fitbit, you said you burned about 1,500 today?
Yeah.
That makes sense since 12, if he slept with it. Did you sleep with that on?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's tracking his sleep, but he's also sleeping. He's also able to track his heart rate while he's sleeping. So we are burning calories right now as we're sitting down.
Yeah, brain power takes calories. If you were a student sitting in class, like the amount of calories burned because you're in a lecture listening to biomechanics is burning calories. So you need to replenish that.
Breathing, you're burning calories. So at that point, eating 1,500 calories, at the end of the day, Arin will probably be at about 3,000, 4,000.
Easily.
Yeah, so for him to be in a deficit, let's just say 3,000 is the number, he needs to be at minimum between 2,600 to 2,500 a day if he's trying to be at a deficit. And that's nice. That's why I like the Fitbit. I had the Fitbit for 3 years, 4 years. I personally just like the interface for the Apple Watch. Like, it's pretty cool. It's fun. But I'm also very aware of, like, my calories burned and my calories, like, eaten.
I say you upgrade to, like, and I don't know about Android, Android's market. So if you're an Android, like, I don't know about that. But speaking from personal experience, like, just having the Fitbit alone, and granted, I'm a strict analog.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a strict minimalist watch that does not track crap except for the time. And you just got to be accountable for yourself. So I switched over to Fitbit, been on Fitbit for, I don't know, maybe a year or so. And now I'm just like, I'm enjoying the crap out of this thing. It's so easy to use.
And it tracks your sleep. That's something
you can track your food in it. I haven't done it yet, Matt. I'm sorry. Matt's told me about tracking your food in it. I use MyFitnessPal like a lot, like millions of other athletes out there. But to be honest, like, I use MyFitnessPal for food, and I just check against the calories burned in the day. It's as simple as that. Just get some reading to go off of. I don't think that you need to track macros.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to be like all in here like, oh my gosh, my protein. Like,
no, at the end of the day, for the beginner, I believe it's just being consistent and I want to say track, but like you can build really bad habits with over tracking and like being so analytical over these numbers. Like, just eat until you're full and don't be overwhelmed. Like, I think that's a good point for beginners.
Yeah, like that. There is a mentality about the gym.
Yeah.
That needs to be purposeful, needs to be intentful, but you have to be graceful about it. You do not need to. I posted this on Instagram on my page, it's to my stories, so not my page. But it was really that the hustle mentality does not match the mentality or the following that we have in our religions.
Yeah.
Like, it just does not match the same. Because we need rest.
Yeah.
Rest is one of the most important things. And
the most
hustle.
important thing. Like, if you're putting all this work into your body and you're not recovering properly, like, you're not going to reach these certain goals that you're aiming for.
I was pissed just the other day. Yeah. Maybe this past week. I was telling Matt how mad I was. Remember, we had a long conversation about sleep?
Yeah.
And we were literally sitting down on a gymnasium floor just talking about ways that I could be better about my sleep habits. Yeah. And really, it was just like 5.5 is not good. That is so not optimal. You got sleep, But you have maybe 45 minutes for me personally, to like an hour 15 of REM sleep.
Depending on like the breakdown of the sleep. And that's the thing about the Fitbit. We're not even sponsored by Fitbit, but
If you want Fitbit, come on.
the Fitbit actually tracks your sleep pretty well. I think I want to try out the Whoop one day because apparently it tracks things down to
Bro, as soon as you stop saying that around my phone right now, because I'm getting too many ads.
conspiracies. Back to that. Real quick, man, I wanted to go over, this was not planned, but I want to go over our next split breakdown. So me and Arin just got done doing a little bit more of a volume split where we're doing a lot more repetitions and a little more cardio within our split. But now we're about to go into a 6 to 7 week like heavy bro lift type of split. So I just wanted to, one, give some free information for people on if they want a new split in their days, and two,
Change it up.
go ahead and break down our workout for next week so we can be ready for it.
This is optimizing time right here. I appreciate this.
So on Mondays, neither of us really can work out on Mondays together.
Correct.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and just call that active recovery day. We'll do that solo. Recovery day.
An active recovery. So usually, like Mondays, have the mentality like I think you can walk into a 24-hour, lifetime. I don't care what gym. Matt, what's everybody doing on Mondays?
Chest day.
It's International Chest Day. Like everyone has the same routine.
Yeah.
Why not break it up a little bit? And then you don't have to worry about all the machines, all the rubber bands being taken for like chest warm-ups, arm circles, things like that. Like go do active recovery.
Yeah.
Like enjoy your day. Your workout can be a walk on the treadmill that day.
And it depends on like how you like to set the tone for your week too. Like if you know that you need to get Monday like going, then work out how you want to work out. But for us, me and Arin are pretty consistent. We're in the gym, so we can start our week off differently. And let's be honest, I think me and you can miss recovery days and stretching days, which if we're being honest to the public, we've kind of missed our Mondays anyways. Like we haven't really been working on our partner stretches, our mobility work. So we're going to get back on that though.
We are. And I really enjoy that. Like having a partner to stretch with.
Yeah.
If you're a guy out there and you haven't had
Most guys don't do this.
most guys don't do this. But if you were, I was in wrestling. Some people might do jujitsu. Like you are in positions that you just have to break that mindset, that mold. Like spread your legs, get down deep into that stretch. I promise you, take 2 deep breaths. Oh my God.
That's what he said.
Woo.
All right. Diving into Tuesday, I'm believing that is our deadlift day. We are done doing sprints for a little bit. We are done doing incline
praise. Heavenly Father, heard my prayers.
So I'm literally going to sub-bullet all of this stuff today. So we're going to start with the deadlift.
Oh, this
Let's
is so
go. I really
good. Yo, we would wake up. I would wake up at 3:15 in the morning, and I would get to our gym to meet up with Matt. We would do. Oh God, I should pull up one of our old. Hold up.
our old workouts. You about to bring it up?
I'm gonna bring this up because this is so hard. Like if you were not used to this,
It's at
I know.
4:45 in the morning.
4:45 we start. We're on the treadmills. Okay. Tuesday hit functional workout. 8 to 10 minutes on the treadmill. Then you do like a bunch of stretches, lunges, Russian baby makers, things like that. I know that name might sound unfamiliar to many.
Google
Google Russian baby makers. Don't look at images. Just ask for fitness
Oh
stuff.
my goodness. Okay.
Sprints, 6 rounds. And we started day 1, 30-second
That
sprints.
was rough.
This is, and mind you, like the machine that we're using has a curve to it, so you can really gain on and reach, but then it has a resistance band that's against you, so you don't run yourself off the treadmill, and the treadmill catches up with your pace. You know how insane that is? 30 seconds flat. How'd you feel at 30 seconds,
Oh,
sir?
brother, we immediately dialed it down. I did not do that again. That was rough.
We immediately died,
Yeah.
and
My
followed.
lactic acid was burning, and I could taste it. I could taste the lactic acid.
If you're not a runner and then you go and run 3 miles, you're gonna taste that lactic acid.
Or if you're just
Like,
pushing so hard, it's not good. Anyways, continue on the breakdown.
I'll run through this real quick. Triple set, reverse lunge to shoulder press, hanging leg knee raises, 3 by 8 to 10, weighted toe touches, 3 by 12, 35-pound weight, into another back-to-back triple set, skierg, GHD abs, weighted Russian twist. I mean, this is, and you finish. I'm not done yet. I'm still going. pull-ups, 50 reps, AMRAPs.
Oh
so
my
get,
gosh, bro.
Yeah, with push-ups, 100 push-ups, AMRAP.
AMRAP means as many reps as possible. So, like, you don't just stop when you hit 20, or you don't just stop when you hit 10. You do as many reps as possible. So get to those grimy numbers, those ugly numbers, the 26, the 24, the 38. Like, I believe we both got around 40 something.
And when you stand up from that, you'll be ready to say, yes, drill sergeant.
Oh, and then I'm going to call Arin out right here. This isn't too bad, but during our AMRAP push-ups, he was like, I don't think I'm going to hold the plank in between the push-ups. And I was like, brother, you just asked me to challenge you. You just asked me to push you through these moments where, like, you don't want to push. And so then we're at the end of this workout, and I'm like, after you're done with your set of push-ups, I'm going to hold a plank. And when I'm done with my push-ups, you have to hold a plank. That only lasted one round, by the way, for both of us. But
it's the mindset.
it's the mindset. So
get you a gym partner that's actually going to call you on your BS. Get you someone who's going to call you a little bitch. Because to be honest, if that works for you, that's great. I know some people, this is, again, not for everyone. For me, like, I even have, we talked about this, I have some PTSD from, like, past athleticism that I've had about a coach who's just been always grinding my gears and, like, always on my butt. So before we get into that, back to this
speaking
split.
of mindset, let's break down the rest of this week's workout, and I think it should take 5 minutes. And that's the thing about breaking down a workout, guys. Like, it doesn't take long to build a workout. Well, at least it doesn't take me long to build a workout. So if you ever need help, just reach out.
Please DM Matt. Like, he'll crank something out for you.
Exactly.
No matter what the level is, to be honest.
And I'll work on injuries, modifications if we need to. But we're going to start Tuesday off because Monday was active recovery day. And we can go into details on this type of working out later. But deadlift, we're going to go 6 rounds, 4 to 8 reps. So we're really going to hit some heavy numbers there. And
Delicious.
I'm thinking after that, let's continue this lower body vibe. Let's do some farmer carries. Farmer carries. And let's put some numbers on this. Let's go 20 steps each. And then we'll do that 4 times. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome.
And then maybe some sled pushes, heavy sled pushes. And so on this.
Just depends on, like, the active area.
Yeah, well, it depends if we have access to the sled push.
Run some people over.
We have an individual who likes to hog that sled push. We'll write it down today.
We gotta go make some friends.
So the beautiful thing about our new split is I believe we'll have 2 leg days, and this is one of our leg days. The next leg day will be Friday or Thursday, technically, yes. So last week we kind of messed around with these splits, but we deadlifted on Monday. So the only issue we're going to have here is we're not going to be able to hit an arm day like that again. So I have an idea. Wait till I get to Wednesday, okay?
Okay.
Hear me out on Wednesday.
Okay.
I don't know if I like it already, but we'll see. So we'll do sled pushes, and then let's do some heavy weighted abs. What are your thoughts on that?
Heavy weighted abs, not a problem. Are you talking, so for this, are we on our backs pushing up, or are we doing the cable?
A cable crunch here. So let me just actually write that down instead of heavy weight.
One thing that's great about cable systems is that it's always keeping that same tension in a very predictable motion. So your path of motion when you have free weights versus cables is that you end up using accessory motor muscles to keep balance. That's great. You know, if that's what you want, that's fantastic. But you may be pulling away from the main muscle group. So in the case that you want to use cables, it's more like isolating. It's very predictable, and it's very adjustable, pretty easy.
Yeah. I like cable crunches once you know how to activate. So so I've done so many cable crunches, and I feel like I just unlocked those like a year ago. So yeah, it's been nice to do it. So the last thing we'll do on there, we'll keep this day pretty simple, but we'll do a 15-minute stair stepper at the very end. Yeah, that's gonna be.
There's always a push. There's always like a little mental grind to like get out, and that's what I've noticed about Matt's like workout plan so far. You know, so like there's gonna be a push, and this is it feels horrible in the moment, but it feels great afterwards, and especially when you actually get a look at your physique.
Yeah.
You know, 3 weeks, 4 weeks later, about a month of consistency.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. So question: I told you Wednesday's gonna be a little funky. What are your thoughts on a push and pull for upper? So my thoughts on it is a 3 3 big boy movements for chest and
Oh.
three big boy movements for back.
Yeah.
So
Just back to back. Just
no,
like
so like we'll do all 3 chests and then hit back. Like all 3 chest
Yeah.
workouts and then go hit all 3 back workouts, or we can alternate. I'm open.
Ooh.
I'm open for the difference there. And it's because I want to hit, and I'll type it out on here. I want to hit legs again on Thursday, and then Friday we'll do arms.
I really liked the arm days.
Yeah, that was nice. Okay.
It was a good bro moment. Just
Yeah.
little,
So we'll alternate between incline and flat bench press, but I'm just gonna put bench press here for the first one. Press, and then we'll go 6 rounds by 4 to 8. Nothing over 8 reps in this world.
And why is that? Why is it just
we're gonna
8?
go for hypertrophy and longer rest periods. So when we're going for higher reps, we're really hitting muscle endurance in our split that we did 6-7 weeks ago. But this split, we're going for longer rest periods, heavier weight, and we're really looking for failure at these higher reps. I mean higher weight, sorry.
Higher weights.
Yes. So, which is not my forte. I believe that I enjoy.
That's my playground, baby.
Yes, that is your playground, and that's why I'm giving you this blessing of this next 6.
I am so happy. we really pushed. I pushed myself
Yeah.
into a very different, definitely uncomfortable zones.
Yeah.
Trying to run and keep up with Matt, and that's nearly impossible. I'm like,
I think that's the beauty of our combination is I would say my muscle endurance is pretty solid, and your strength for 2 to 8 reps is beautiful. But my mentality isn't there yet, so that's something I'm working on.
I think my mentality isn't there either.
For like the sprints and all that stuff, or
Yeah.
for the heavy push.
Oh, heavy push.
Yeah.
Like if someone put like, I don't know, 475 on a deadlift bar,
Yeah.
and I had warmed up properly,
Uh-huh.
and they didn't tell me the weight, I go.
Yeah,
I'd just be like, ah,
yeah. So
lightweight.
So back to this really quick. My initial thoughts immediately from bench press, we should go bent over heavy rows.
Yeah.
Because you do lock your lats when you're doing a bench press, and I don't want to exhaust our lats before we get to back. So maybe every week we can alternate what we start with. So this upcoming Wednesday we'll do a heavy bench, but the following Wednesday we'll do a heavy bent over row.
Yeah.
And then go into bench. So we'll alternate that every week, but we'll still hit push and pull on those Wednesdays. So we'll go bent over rows.
Ooh, I'll break out my stringers again.
Yeah, get some wrist wraps, you know what I mean?
Oh,
I'm
if you didn't think I already had those ready, like,
So bent over rows, and same thing, we'll go 6 rounds, 4 to 8 reps. 4 to 8 reps, there we go. And then next, I'm thinking we go into cable flies.
cool.
Cable flies, and we'll keep them heavy still, but we'll go 4 by 8. I'm gonna put 10, 4 to 8 to 10. I know I just literally said we'll do 4 to 8 reps, but
No, 10 still,
Yeah.
like I'm going to probably pause out near like 8, 9.
Yeah.
And that's not bad.
And then since we did a bent over row, I'm assuming we'll be pronated hands down. So then we can go a close grip neutral row, cable row.
Oh,
So cable.
woo!
Cable
This is
row.
where most people come in on I'll see you coming on like Wednesday. So yeah, it's so funny because you basically have Monday
Yeah.
chest, Tuesday legs, Wednesday back.
Yeah.
Like it's typically the
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
Unless Tuesday, Wednesdays are flip flopped, and that's fine
But the
too.
beautiful thing, Aaron, is we're here at 4:45, and it's very chill at that time. So we're not worrying about traffic.
Dude, it's so chill. It's actually like very encouraging.
Yeah.
Because the lot is kind of full at 4:45. Like, and we go to it like an influencer type gym.
Yeah.
Like this is no jokes. Like you got to know your form.
Yeah.
You got to know your control, muscle memory.
Yeah.
Got to be most of the. I don't even know if there's other than like the 2 kids I see that show up with that dad.
Yeah.
Like everybody's counting calories.
Oh, brother. There are some people in there that they're stepping on stage. These people are in there are pretty intense, and I love that. Like that's the vibe that I want to be around. You know. 2 workouts left. What do you want to do? I'm gonna ask you for for chest.
For chest, I want to incline.
So
I would do incline dumbbell
incline
if I
dumbbell
could.
press after the flies.
Not directly after flies.
So if you look up here, so we have bench press,
Bent over
and then we go bent
rows.
over rows and cable flies. Do you want to do cable flies last, like as our last bench?
I would love like a little burnout. Yeah, yeah.
So let's copy that.
I would do 8 to 10 cable fly.
So incline. So this would be incline dumbbells.
Yeah, I want to
by
focus,
8 to 10.
and this might be like more personal agenda, but
Oh, bro, but
a
we're
lot
both-
of us can build lower pectoral
Yeah.
pretty easily, especially if you're pronated enough, like your back arch and you set up your platform for your
Yeah.
bench. You're gonna be pretty set.
Okay.
But upper chest, absolutely.
But yeah, so then let's go to cable fly. So after we do incline dumbbell press, we'll go into a cable row, close neutral grip. So let's put
Yep.
NG here,
Yep.
neutral grip, cable row. And then we'll go into a cable fly, but let's go from a low to high fly. This will be our last chest workout.
Ooh,
So
yeah.
low to high, cable fly. And then our last back workout, what are you thinking? You want to pin machine it and go for a back fly?
Yeah, because we already have row.
Yeah.
Yeah, pin machine that thing.
Let's see how this split goes, man. Just because I really like to isolate
I might.
this type of.
Can I add a pause
Yeah.
on our back fly?
Oh, like a little. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, if I might be like super detailed, I do want to finish out.
A 2-second pause.
Yeah, I want like a good
Every
hold.
That would be a good way to end the workout.
Mm.
Every rep. So if you're down, I am going to take away the 10 reps, and we're going to do 6 to 8
Yep.
pauses.
Just good, heavy,
Beautiful.
squeeze top.
All right, and let's go into our leg day now. All right.
It's a great day to do a leg day.
All right, so I was thinking we hit some front squats this week.
Ah!
Yeah, so but we're gonna hit some front squats, and
Oh,
we're
that's
gonna
fine.
we're gonna keep it low reps as well. We're going 4. It's a little different. It's a little
Don't tell me 8 to
loaded.
10. Don't tell me 8 to 10. man.
Want to, but we'll keep it 4 to 8. We'll keep it 4 to 8. 4 rounds.
If we want to go up in reps, we can go up in.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Like, if you're like, man, I'm really feeling 10, let's go 10.
I guess my thing is like, can I keep my form tight at a high rep? I mean, at a high weight in a front squat. You know,
That's-
I don't do front squats very often, so
That's on your muscle memory right there. If you think you got
We'll
that,
see. I'll improvise in the moment.
I could do 135. 135 is
for
like
sure.
easy.
Yeah.
But catch me on fourth set 135. Like, because front squat is not enjoyable. I would rather do like a goblet squat.
Yeah.
With like a 120-pound goblet squat for 8 than I would a
Yeah.
barbell front squat.
What are your thoughts on the thing I just wrote down? Bulgarians at 3 by 12.
Dude, we suffered at 8.
I know, but I'm just saying, like,
We suffered at 8.
I just don't. I don't have the.
Don't make me pull up the Instagram post you made about saying
they
he
suck?
Yeah, about
Yeah.
telling me that he would like hate the person who made Bulgarians.
So Bulgarians, man, like anything single arm, single leg, like I don't like to spend too much time, like just because I don't have the crazy amount of time to be in the gym for 2 hours. Yeah. So that's why I'd like to do 3 rounds of that. So we'll go Bulgarians 3 by 8. I'm almost wanting to mimic. My legs are still sore, by the way.
I am limping.
I kind of want to mimic what we did last week, but the only thing that's different is front squats. So Bulgarians was supersetted with RDLs.
Yes.
So I'm going to go down here, RDLs. We'll do 3 by, what we do, 8, 10. Yeah, we did 10, I believe. Is that what the superset was? Or when did we do single leg, like bridges with our legs? Did we superset that with RDLs?
No, that so we superset single leg bridges with GHDs.
GHDs, okay, so I like that. Add a little abs in there, so.
Yeah, so this is also something I've learned recently. So you can go through a very deep cut. Let's say that you subtracted 500 calories off the top and you stuck with that and you lost X amount of pounds to where you can see the definition that you want, but you can't see your abs. You know why? It's because you didn't do abs. You need to build muscle in your abs.
I love that you're saying that because people always say abs are made in the kitchen, but you know where else they're made? In the freaking gym.
In the freaking gym. And I know that's diet and sleep will carry you through your journey of fitness over the long haul. But if you're not targeting abs, if you won't get the separated deep ab separation that you want.
You can get lean by focusing on the kitchen. You can shape them and show them from being in the kitchen. But if you want them to protrude and if you want them to actually show, you've got to build muscle just like you're doing any other workout.
You would be surprised. Like, even if you worked as hard as you could and you got abs, per se, like you got the abs, they'd be flat abs. They would be flat abs. And then suddenly, like, you never thought you might be here, but it's funny to, like, play in this scenario that you're like, oh my gosh, my abs are flat. And this is a common occurrence amongst athletes, amongst bodybuilders. Like, oh my gosh, my abs are flat. You did not build the muscle to show off abs.
Yeah, facts. Just like if you want to grow your shoulders, like you gotta like load them, progressive overload.
I see what he put in here. Y'all can't see this, but so walk. Tell them what you did to us.
So this last Thursday, we did AMRAP quad extensions, where we find what weight you can do for 4 reps on a quad extension, where you take your legs and squeeze those quads at the top. And then after you find your 4 rep max, you then go 1 pin under, maybe 2, and then rep it out for 12.
12. This is a 4 rep max.
Yeah, let's be honest, it's probably not a real max, but because if you can do 12 reps, 1 or 2 weight pins under, it's really not your full rep max, but you're struggling at 4 reps. So then you go 12 reps on a little bit lighter weight, and then I change the weight, and then you do 10, and then you do another 8 to 10.
Yes.
So you're really tasting that lactic acid, and this is at the end of the workout.
Dude.
And let's be honest, guys, like some of you are working out every single day. Some of you are hitting the gym. You're not working.
You got to
You're
put in
not
that work.
pushing. And I think that's the problem with a lot of people. At a certain point, you're going to hit a plateau. And what the problem is you have to really work for it.
And we'll get more input on this.
Yeah.
Because it's so subjective out there. Like, each person is so different.
Yeah.
Like, but what we're talking about is like generally objective
Yeah.
from our past experiences. But we'll get people on here. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, 100%. So the last thing, and I know I'm taking a lot of the time, and this is totally improvised, but we're going to go over our arm workout. So I like to warm up, and I kind of want to mimic our last workout, but I don't know, man. I wasn't really too sore after what we did. And let me rephrase that. I don't want to trick anybody. I don't want to lie to anybody.
Don't say that. And
soreness does not correlate to a good workout. It was a great workout, Arin.
It was great.
We do not have to be sore. You do not have to be, oh, my arms, I can't stretch them out to make it a good workout. So
Yep.
let me backtrack. I'm just, you get used to a certain statement sometimes and you use it again. So, all right. Anyways, we started with a standing barbell press, shoulder press. Standing barbell, shoulder press. What did you
military press,
Military
but
press,
just
barbell, military press.
yeah. I loved it. That's a very, I don't know.
I like the standing aspect to it because, it's a common movement in life that you'll probably do is push something over your head.
Yeah.
So
Like you
I really
reach
like
the
to do
top
that.
shelf, or if you're, short king, short queen, get on your step stool, lift it above your head.
Yeah, and we were just warming up because then we did 3 rounds of 10. Then we went to the actual working sets seated on a Smith machine. So seated, Smith machine, military press.
And what does this do for us? Because we did military press already.
Yes.
Why do seated and
So the seated is just so I can focus on the shoulders. When I'm standing, my core is squeezing, my glutes are squeezing just to keep the form proper. But I just want to truly isolate my shoulders and my front delts basically at that point. So yeah, we are going to do 4 rounds I did 6 to 8. I don't know what you were pushing, but I was doing 6 to 8 that day. So for the
seated military, yeah.
For the Smith machine,
7, 8.
Yeah.
Just depends.
Are you down to mimic what we did this past?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, cool. So the next
That was for my
workout-
mental health.
Oh, by the way, we were supersetting that with pull-ups.
Ah, man.
So, and our superset for pull-ups were. I'm down to do that again, brother.
This is functional fitness right here. Like,
Yeah,
we're not
I just
just
think-
pushing to push. We got to pull the pull.
the biggest ways to be strong, in my opinion, is like moving your body weight a certain way. Like, I just really believe that push-ups, pull-ups, and dips, body weight squats as well, are just like the traditional foundations to like strength. Now, of course, like I'm not saying that you're going to build muscle, like big muscle by doing just pull-ups, but you're gonna get strong body awareness. And we were only doing 4 to 5 pull-ups every set. So
Yeah, we really weren't going for like 12, 25.
I'm gonna be honest, I can't do that many anyways.
I can't either. I wait for reference. I'm not pulling my 220-pound freaking butt 25 times. I'm good.
So then next we went into cable lateral raises, and that was 3 by 8.
Yes.
And that was supersetted with pull-ups again.
Love the pull-ups. And, I actually got, I was telling Matt, like on my shoulder blade and my scapular plane, I was actually doing pull-ups wrong. I was getting too tired, and I was starting to rely on like an outward. I was bringing myself away and trying to use like more back muscles, not engaging my lats. And that's what made me very...
goes from here to here.
Yeah.
From a different muscle group there. Think about big, confident chest. And at that point, like, you put your ego aside and you, like, did less reps, one. And then at a certain point when you were fatiguing, we both grabbed the band, basically, at that point. And we were doing assisted pull-ups. There's nothing wrong with assisted pull-ups.
Yeah, I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
Like, get yourself an assisted pull-up machine or whatever. Don't be cowardice because you think
or get a band.
Yeah, get a band. Like, you don't always have to go to the machine because sometimes the machines are taken. Get a band. You can find bands on Amazon. Lots of gyms have bands. Find one that works for you.
So then next we went into cable upright rows while we still did pull-ups.
There was a lot of
This
pull-ups
was our last round of pull-ups here. So
and surprisingly, my lats are okay.
I can feel mine, but they're not crazy, yeah.
But I also cheated, because I was not feeling it. I was like,
3 to 5 reps here. Oh, actually, at this point, we were assisted, so I'm going to put assisted pull-ups here.
Oh, please put assisted. Please use the band.
Pull-ups 3 by, and we bumped it up 3 by 8 or 10. All right, so next we went into the rear delt flies. And then we did 3 times 8 reps.
Truly, this is just targeting more back.
Yeah. So it will
like more shoulders.
Yeah. So, and if you're not doing the rear delt properly, you will hit a back fly basically. So you really got to isolate. It's a small muscle, but you want to really feel that. And that really comes into a lot of your rows. Like if you're not learning how to activate that small muscle, you're not going to row properly either. Or you're not going to use that muscle as a stabilizer.
This is true, yes. So like isolating that out. And if you're focusing on physique like Matt and I are,
I want
rounded.
to look good naked, man.
So then last podcast, yes, he does want to look good naked.
Yes, bro.
So do I. I'm trying.
So then after our rear delt flies, we're going to go into alternating curls, which we already did. So we'll go 3 by 8 here as well. I'm going to put 10, 3 by 8 to 10. And then what did we do next? We did tricep extensions and bicep curls, right?
Yes.
We were done with shoulders at that point.
We
did tricep kickbacks and standing curls. Cable curls.
Cable curls.
So hinged tricep kickbacks.
And what this movement looks like, you can always Google these. These are you like bent over at a straight 90-degree angle facing the ground. You're going to pull your arm kind of level with your body, and then it's kicking back in a back motion, just like such. This is a bad angle, but you get the point. You can look up videos and whatnot.
So I'm going to dive even more into that. The reason why I dove into a bent over, like a hinged bent over tricep kickback is because when the triceps are overhead and pushing in any form, hinged or above, you're lengthened. Whereas if we can get that rear delt involved, and then that rear delt can be activated, and then that is shortened in a sense, and then you squeeze and shorten it even more. Whereas if you're stretched above, that triceps lengthens.
So we're looking at more time, less extension, and more contraction in a shorter range.
Yes.
All of this just basically means that the muscle is coming together in a tighter space. It's being squeezed harder. It's going to naturally pull harder in more of a natural progression than it is fully stretched out over your head. And you can again also engage like a rear delt or a front delt and try to help get that weight up. And that's just on like if it's too much weight, pull it down.
Yeah, and go for a squeeze more. Like you don't have to. Like I would rather you go lighter weight and get a good squeeze in that moment. But even in a heavy split, Like even if we're going heavy for a few weeks, like finding that squeeze is most important on the like at least arms.
Yeah, like that's good muscle memory is going to
Yeah.
take you further, keep you more safe, and again comes with consistency.
Yes. All right, so we're almost done here. So cable curls as a superset with the hinge tricep kickbacks. We're going 3x8 as well, and then we went for a seated tricep extension. Now this is over the head, so we're just kind of topping off the workout here. Pause. Seated tricep extension, and we only did 2 rounds of these though, and we upped the reps. We were short on time, so we did 2 rounds by 12, I believe, and then we did nasty 21s or whatever they're called.
Nasty 21. So you're 7 half from the bottom to the middle of a curl, and then you do 7 mid curl, like basically completing your range of motion mid to top. 7 reps, and then 7 full
Range of motion.
And we use like 50-pound.
Yeah, I believe
Straight
it was
bar?
50. Yeah, curl. It was a curl bar.
Oh, so it's like a sissy bar.
Yeah, sissy bar. Awesome. Well, shoot, man. I just wanted to see what it takes. I totally lied. That didn't take 5 minutes. But we also explained every workout, though. If we didn't explain these, this would have taken 5 minutes to write. But, guys, we literally just spent 15 minutes writing our entire week's worth of working out. The reason why I did this in front of you is because it doesn't take long to build a program. Now, executing it is what we're looking to do. Being consistent with these programs is what we're looking to do. I appreciate you doing that with me, brother.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I hope it gives some insight to anyone who's at exterior to us and just sees us working out, sees us posting, sees us doing whatever. Even just this podcast and goes, oh my gosh, they're like killing it. They're always doing these things. Like I was recently talking to one of my friends. It's very similar in the same line that he was like, dude, you're killing it. Like, you're getting your master's done and you're like eating healthy. I see all these posts, dude. You're looking great. And like from an outside perspective, really all it is just intentionally taking the time, 15, 20 minutes to just sit down and think about it. Make sure it fits for you. If it doesn't fit, you will find out. Yeah. But it's the courage to step into the room. It's the courage to take on the anxieties of the gym and go, I can do this. Yeah. Like I just need to do it consistently. You don't have to kill yourself in the gym and be sore every day to say that you got to work out.
You don't have to go 6 days a week, guys.
Oh my gosh, you do not.
I know we just wrote out a 5-day plan, but if you're interested, I could write you out a 3-day plan, a 2-day plan of just full body. Like one of my concepts, and I've learned this from so many other coaches out there, if you're looking to be consistent, but you know you're not going to hit the gym 5 days a week, don't do splits like this. If you know you can only hit the gym twice a week, 3 times a week, do a full body every day.
Yeah.
Because if we were to miss Wednesday, which was a push-pull, we would not hit back or chest until next Wednesday.
We would not.
Basically. So like for us, we are consistent. If you know you're not going to hit the gym 5 days a week, do a full body split. That's my last little tip for beginners.
Dude, absolutely. There will be many, many tips for beginners. And I hope that we, if you have input or want something highlighted, that we can continue to talk about this. Just give us some pointers to talk about. Like, that's great. Feedback is always welcome. I don't think that there's anything that, like, here from our perspective, like, it can be confusing, for someone who's new. And
I get it. The biggest step is stepping into the gym first.
There's a lot of anxiety about just stepping into the gym itself for someone who's not used to this or someone who's been to many gyms and is scared to come back.
Stepping in, first step.
I sent you that video, about that guy. So this dude looked freaking mean. This dude looked like me, but he had a beanie on and he had like a big weight belt on, tank top. I mean, you probably would not go up to this guy and be like, hey, can you help me re-rack these weights? Can you help me in this range of motion or help me do this squat? Yeah. Does this look good to you? 100%. He introduced himself. He was very kind to this young lad trying to do a bent over row, barbell.
Pulling with his traps the whole time, basically.
Pulling with his traps. And he just gave him some very kind advice. Yeah. Walked him through the steps, walked him through what he saw. And was like, hey, nothing to you. This is really just this is something that people don't tell you.
I wish someone would have told me when I was in your realm or in your phase of the gym.
Some of the biggest dudes in the gym that mean mug, that have their hoodie up. So nice.
9 times out of 10, and this is the biggest misconception in the gym, is, oh, there's a bunch of douchebags in the gym. In reality, every single person that you think isn't going to be nice is probably going to help you with anything that you need in the gym.
100%. And I definitely am not going to say this, that it's the same around certain times.
Yeah.
You know, like January 1st, I would not be asking someone, because odds are, like, it's going to be a newbie like you, and you don't know it. Maybe you're just starting out in your journey, but yeah,
there are douchebags in the gym, guys. I am not saying that you're never going to run into a douchebag in the gym, but most gym bros aren't douchebags. They will help the beginner out. They will give you tips. Just don't feel some type of way. I hate the culture that you can't approach people in the gym and say, hey, can I help you with this? There's just so much ego behind it. Like, I would love for someone to correct my form. Like, I would love for someone to pick out, hey, man, you're shifting to the left in this squat. Like,
but not everyone's like that, though.
Yeah, I know. And it just sucks that people take the offense to those moments, too. Like, both ways. Like, people don't want to give the advice, and two, people don't want to take the advice.
Yeah. And I don't like to take the advice sometimes. Like, I'd be cranky with Matt when he's like, bro, I was trying to tell you something, and, like, you just brushed me off. Or, like, I'd be like, nah, man, like, I was doing the eccentric. You told me eccentric. I did it. Like, I get so petty sometimes when I just don't want to take it. There's a lot of ego that comes with the gym. Yeah. You see that, whether it's physically, like in their muscle, or in what they're wearing, some ridiculous outfit. Tell me there is not people in there that they would not go to the gym and then go to the grocery store after and not feel self-conscious about what they're wearing. There is some ridiculousness 100%. Happening. Like, if you got to cover your bits when you go to the grocery store, but not at the gym, you're wearing, it's a little...
You're going to the gym for the wrong reasons, in my opinion.
Yeah, you have some other mental things that you should work out.
But yeah, brother, on another note, when it comes to like our mindset and mentality when we hit the gym, speak on what it's been like for someone who hasn't done this in a long time. Waking up, you started doing it at like what, 3:15, 3 o'clock, which I think you're crazy for. But
thank you.
I'm happy that we tweaked it up a little bit. But what are your thoughts? Give people perspective of that mentality or just that mindset on waking up early and sacrificing something to take care of your health.
It was not sustainable. It just was not. And when I tell people, like, I love in my head, I try to be as humble as possible because this is not a competition. It's actually honestly never a competition. But the biggest thing is that when people are like, oh yeah, I work out at like 6 o'clock in the morning, so I'd be up at like 5. In the back of my head, I'm like, ha ha ha. Like, oh, you're cute. That's late. Nice. I've been done for hours. No, but like I woke up at 3:15. I was at the gym by 4:45, and I had all my meals prepped for the day by the time I left the house. That's why it took me so long. And that was a part of like conditioning. But to be honest, I would wake up, I would get cold water, get my pre-workout, hit the road. And I did that for, I don't know how long, like a month or so.
We're about 9-10 weeks in right now. So I think,
I would say about 6 to 7 weeks of 3:15 wake-up calls. Now, I've been through a track. I think that should be said. I have a history of waking up early. I'm not an insomniac. I'm not a psychopath. I'm mentally well. I just want that to be known. I don't have a superpower. I wanted to. I really did. I wanted to get there early. I was excited. I had all this like energy to go. It died off in 20 minutes, and I was yawning on the way in.
Yeah.
But the one thing that encouraged me about this whole thing was that I was getting up before everyone else. I really did like feel a little just like encouragement that like no one else was going to be doing the hard grinding. I'm earning this. I am here. And it's going to set me up later in life, you know. You can talk to baby calls in the morning. I am ready. I am training. I am here.
Yeah. Something about, I was waking up at 4 o'clock, guys. I was not doing no 3 a.m. wake up call.
as a sane person should.
But in all fairness, I have a couple more months under my belt than Arin. I used to work for a gym that my first session was at 5 a.m., so I was waking up at 4. And I did that for 2 years. I may have taken like 5 months off from that and woke up at 6. But that 6 a.m. to 4 a.m. is a whole different animal. It's a whole different animal because that means you're going to bed by 7:45, 8:30. And that's discipline. Like those first few weeks, Arin, I was motivated. I was motivated, but those first few weeks, discipline wasn't there. It was motivation. So as I got used to waking up, like there were times I didn't want to hit the gym. There were times I literally didn't want to go, but that's where my discipline came in. Motivation, anyone can do that, but discipline is what's important.
So you're saying that you based your consistency less off of your motivation to go and more off of your habits, your discipline.
Yeah.
And I guess like how'd you get there? Like how does one who doesn't like have that kind of like discipline to like do that?
Well, it sucks. It sucks. You're going to go through moments that it's rough. You're going to go through moments that like you're sleep deprived. Now, of course, we had this whole segment on talking about getting enough sleep, but that's where the sacrifice comes in. That's where at a certain point, at a certain moment, like you will eventually get more sleep if you're disciplined. Like you will eventually get more rest, recovery if you're disciplined. But to get to that point, it takes time. I remember in 2018 when I said I'm going to wake up every day at 6 o'clock and work out. That was the roughest thing in the world to me. 6 o'clock was crazy. And then having a job that I'm such a hard worker in my opinion that knowing that I got to be somewhere at a certain time, like I'm going to be there. Now, if you weren't my gym partner, I'm going to be honest, I would be challenged way more mindset wise. Like my mentality would be challenged even more. Because it's easy for me. Oh, I know someone's going to be waiting on me, so I'm going to be there.
I was about to say, like, he's brought that up many a time.
Yeah.
Like when we've been working out, that just because I'm going to be there and I'm waiting on him, he's usually waiting on me, by the way. That's why he runs 2 miles before we get started, which is not a thing that you have to do. You do not need to do that. I'm only sharing that because this man's, like, drive is, like, 10 times out of a normal person. Me, not quite there. I will give him kudos. He's a runner, right? And I'm a lifter. Like, I just am an ox. I would just pick it up. I'm not.
That's my son. His middle name is Ox.
Yes. Cheers to the ox guys, and girls.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, it's absolute discipline at this point. Because now the motivation, because I'm hyped up with working out with you every single morning, it's dying down. It's the discipline at this point. Yeah. It's the consistency also. Like I'm in a routine also.
Would you say your purpose changed a little bit?
I mean,
like your motivation?
If we want to dive into that a little more, like the reason why I'm working out at this time is because, we both have a 9 to 5. I personally have clients before my 9 to 5 and after my 9 to 5. I'm in a course 2 times a week that's teaching me business marketing. And it's like, when do I do that? If I'm doing a 9 to 5, I'm running a business. When do I actually have time to work out? Before I got out of my slump that I was in 2 months ago, I was trying to work out on the clock at work, and it just wasn't conducive. It wasn't realistic because there's going to be days that I'm busy at work. So 4:45, that was the time. 4:45 was the time to work out. And before I asked you to join me, like I was out of my routine, and it was tough to get back to that 4 a.m. wake up call. I was trying, dude. I really was. I was waking up my alarm would wake me up at 4. I snooze it 3 or 4 times and then just set an alarm for 6:30. And then I'd still go work out sometimes, but it wasn't the same. I was working out every day still. I was getting 4 days in a week, like 4 to 5, but it was just trash workouts. They weren't good.
I knew God put me on this, man, for like a reason. Because at the same time, like I was hitting a plateau. I was just lifting heavy. I could bench 275 for 2 or 3 reps, and then probably 20 minutes later, do it again.
Yeah,
like I just was tired of it.
Yeah,
like my bench almost maxed to my squat at that time, and I wasn't being challenged. It was tough, and like I needed someone to push me. I needed someone with the knowledge to be like, okay, clearly you can lift.
Yeah.
What else can you do? What else can you do?
There's more to fitness than brute strength. There's more to fitness than a bunch of cardio or triathlon concepts. Yeah. I feel like the best type of athletes are the ones who are full or well-rounded all the way around.
Functionally well and healthy, mind you.
Now, don't get me wrong. I've said it before. I'll say it again. If your goals are to be a marathon runner, yes, I get it. You're not going to be in here doing 4x6 like power lifter stuff or just
What?
weight, you know?
What? That's crazy.
But I think the hybrid concept is just the best way to go. Like for me personally, if I'm able to go run 2 miles and go lift 315 on whatever lift it is, I'm doing a good job.
Oh, that's a great job. That's the dream.
Yeah, or even 225. Let's be honest. Like even if you're hitting 225 in all your lifts and being able to run a 5K,
Dude, I'm doing this because later on in life, because
Yeah.
I feel like God is trying to tell me I'm gonna have a daughter, which is like, oh God. Ooh, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that.
having daughters.
I don't care what I have, like as long as I have kids one day,
Yeah.
but like I would laugh
yeah.
if her boyfriend, her like high school football boyfriend walks up in my house. I'd be like, how much you bench?
yeah.
And he goes, 175. I'd be like, pfft.
Or whenever she's dating a guy and he's telling her that, hey, I'm hitting the gym, and then she finds out that he's repping 145 for 6, and she knows, well, my dad lifts 315 for 8. And it's like it just holds a standard of strength too. And
This is like actual strength.
yeah, and I'm gonna even go deeper into that, like knowing that like if I have a daughter one day that she sees the discipline that we have in the gym, like the discipline in the gym correlates to discipline in life. Like I don't care what anyone says. Sometimes I might be annoying to some of my friends
Facts.
that I correlate every single thing that you do in life to how you take care of yourself. And if you take care of yourself by exercising, I think that correlates with everything that you're doing in life.
The Venn diagram of like fitness mentality and
Yeah.
your overall health that dives into your physical well-being,
Yeah.
your spiritual well-being,
Mhm.
how you are as a person, it's like almost on top of each other.
Yeah.
The circles are like stacked so much.
I agree. I have a friend right now, and I'm not going to name him, but I'm so proud of him. He's been posting, he has me on his close friends on Instagram, but he's been posting photos of him like in the gym, like just checking in, nice little peace sign at times. But I'm just so proud of him, man. Like I remember like there was a moment we worked out a lot before I moved to Dallas, and he fell off of it a little bit, and he has a strong mindset. I know who he is as a person, but he was just kind of letting himself go. Luckily his metabolism's solid, so he wasn't getting like super overweight or anything.
What's it like?
Yeah, it must be nice. But at the same time, like I could see like his energy, and we don't talk every day. But just from seeing this post and just from the small talks that we have had recently, I can see him being different. I can see a little bit more of like a positive aura around him. You know?
That I'm gonna fill this one.
Yeah.
It transcends so much.
Hey,
It
plug.
transcends. Yes.
Nice shirt. Nice shirt.
Yo, retweet on the merch. Or re-X. I don't know what it's called now. Yeah, repost that.
I'm
But
gonna go
you
down
will,
his Twitter.
we already covered our conspiracy
hole.
theories.
Yeah.
So for this matchup, but like you truly are. You are calling yourself to a higher thing, and there's something about. And again, I think this goes back to another mentality thing that I would push towards people who have anxieties towards the gym, is that everyone's so. I always feel like everyone's looking at you or looking at me and saying like, "Oh, you got to get out of your comfort zone. You just got to step out of that."
Yeah.
And for some, not all, this is a very difficult thing to do. I would ask
For
someone,
most, I would say, actually.
like,
Yeah.
why not just learn to expand that? Like micro expand that through just going to the gym and going to the treadmills
Yeah.
and just enjoying. And I know we talked about like treadmill bunnies earlier,
Yeah.
basically is what I'm
But
gonna
I'm
call
down.
them.
I'm down for people to start there. Like I'm okay with that being your start
Yeah.
of just like hitting cardio.
Like I would encourage that. Just
Yeah.
go to the gym, be in the environment, feel it out. Like that's all you have to do. You don't have to touch a weight.
I'm gonna simplify this even more. And sorry for stealing your thunder because that was amazing. But
Appreciate it.
just go outside for a walk. Like focus on taking care of yourself. I know the big step of stepping into a facility is a big barrier for people. Okay, go for a walk. Do 10 squats every hour at home.
Yeah.
Every hour that you're on the clock, if you're working from home or even at work, do 10 squats.
This is a funny part.
Yeah.
I know I'm like breaking into your.
Oh, I
your
was done
moment.
right there. You're good.
Matt works at a gym, and he would technically, if it weren't for like all the movement that he does, if he does like a midday, that would be sedentary.
Yeah.
That is sedentary.
I work at a gym and I work at a desk, guys. Like And now imagine people who don't work out at gym. Like I am surrounded by people who are being active all the time. And yet I still get caught behind a desk doing office work.
It is sedentary if you are sitting at your
Not
desk.
dysentery?
No, not dysentery. If you have that, see your nearest nutritionist and doctor. Get some help.
I love you, man. I had to call you out. Sorry.
No, it's okay. If you didn't know, like first podcast, go back, listen. It's in there. Sedentary. He works at a gym. There's such a variety of things. I wish I could preach this more, but I'll cap there for now. Is that you don't have to, like, I'll do a quick reframe. How about that? You don't have to go extreme, but what is your definition of a workout?
Me personally.
Yeah, what is
movement? You can do a workout for 15 minutes. Don't let anyone tell you anything different. Shout out to Mind Pump. They actually have a 15-minute program.
Sal.
Yes, I'm not sponsored by Mind Pump either. But guys, you can do a 15-minute workout.
They have a program.
They do 15-minute walk. Just again, like I said earlier, even if it's not the program you buy, just go for a walk. Do 10 air squats. If you can't do squats, stand up and down in your chair 10 times.
I say you do yourself a disservice with like your God-given body.
Yeah.
We are the apex creature, adaptable to any environment. Mm-hmm. Your mentality will drive you through it. You see all these like crazy athletes, all these people out here with like crazy mindsets and that can do incredible things. They can run for 2 days straight. Sorry, Forrest Gump it, but like all of that is matched with your mentality, your abilities, but like you have it within you. I cannot encourage you enough that like if you change your mindset, you can stay within your comfort zones, but you just micro learn, you micro expand your comfort zone. That's all that it is. It's the same.
And with that being said, like that's how you get out of this funk. Like if you're in one, like if you're in a funk, sometimes it's as simple as getting up for a walk, doing some stretches. YouTube is your best friend. You don't have to buy any program out there. Go to YouTube. YouTube will give you everything that you need. If you want to learn how to work on your sciatica because you've been sitting down all day, YouTube has 30,000 videos probably on sciatica. Like if your shoulders are having some issues, again, 9 times out of 10, you don't need to go to a physical therapist. And if you do, I'm not trying to tell you to go to YouTube as your physical therapist.
Do not.
Movement, guys. Movement is key. That's how I would start. Like that's the best way to get yourself out of a low point, but also understanding and addressing that you're in a low point.
Yeah. It's part of like the 12 stages of grief, many studies, but like acceptance of like where you are. A lot of men struggle with this. They cannot accept. There's a lot of egotism in the way. In the religious fields, like you have to die to yourself. You have to die to your cross. Mm-hmm. Like you cannot just like stand there and think, it'll be fine.
For someone who isn't religious, how would you explain dying to your cross?
That's like,
oh, that's a tough one. That's an interesting one, right? I thought about that on the spot. Sorry.
No, I'll keep it bare bones as like answering what you're avoiding.
Yeah. Well, if you're open for it, explain what dying to your cross or dying on your cross means.
I think it is pretty objective because some people have viewed this concept or this phrase in many different ways. But for me, dying on the cross is like, what are the worst parts of your habits?
Yeah.
Like, what are the things that, again, like you
struggle with?
What are the things that, actually, here's something. What are the top 3 things that you're not telling your parents, friends, inner circle? What are those things that you're hiding down? What are those sinful things that you are just scared to admit? Because to be honest, 9 out of 10 times, as soon as it comes flying out of my mouth, I feel so much better.
Yeah, or like whenever your friends are checking in on you, like I got a couple friends who always check in, but what are the things that I'm not telling them when they're checking in on me? Like, and I'm just playing both sides of the field. I am religious, but I'm just, for those who aren't, I just want you to know that like, what are you telling your friends, or what are you not telling your friends? What are you not telling your parents who are checking in on you? Like you said.
You know what I dislike the most when I like know something's wrong with someone, because your friend might be acting funky.
Yeah.
Male or female, doesn't matter. And you go, "How you been?" "Fine."
Yeah.
"I'm good." "Oh, tell me about last week." "Good."
Normal.
"Yeah, normal week."
Same old same.
They go, "It's been just a normal week." And I'm like, all right.
Like, tell me more.
Yeah.
But then that's where it's on your friend, the person who's asking the questions. If you really care, you're digging. Like, are you just asking that surface level question to ask it, or are you actually caring about this individual?
This is true. Sometimes some people need a slower game. Like walking up and just like knocking down the door is going to make them retreat.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Like I'm open and I will tell people my issues in life, and I may have known you for a
Bro,
week.
Matt is very open.
Like I will be open with you, and not everybody is like that. People want to hold things in, and so sometimes just letting your friend know that you're there for them. And if we dive into like men's health or men's mental health, like one of my buddies, he does it all the time. Shouted him out last time, Brandon. My buddy Brandon will always check in on me, man. Like even if it's 5 weeks at a time, like he will call in, check in, text in, whatever it is. He's checking on all his homies, and I think that's just a good example of even if you're going to lie in that moment and say everything's good, he's going to consistently check in on you. Like at some point, like you will break.
You will.
And tell him the truth. And I just think like just personally, like we need to check in on my boy as well. Like everyone that Brandon checks in on, y'all should check in on him too.
You ever see that like sad video? It's tough because it gives like very real world statistics about men's mental health and what happens when it goes unchecked. I mean, we're down to the seconds that we lose men every day. Yeah. Because it was just a lack of a text message to check in. Yeah. And that goes back to like, what do you do when you're in a low point? And how all these things, there are multiples here that intersect with it, but fitness has a great awareness to it. It calls for greater incitement to being self-controlled and being self-aware in general.
Yeah. Go ahead. I think the reason why we dive into fitness is because men in this generation, we're slowly moving away from it, but most men will not talk about their feelings. But if you can get him to relieve some stress and hit the gym, like that's a way that you can care for your brother, your friend, whoever it is. It's not all about like being super duper emotional all the time. It's just knowing that they got to get away. They have a moment to step away from whatever they're struggling with, and of course I would like you to talk to me about it. Of course I want to be comfortable to be open with you about it. Yeah. But it starts with what men struggle with the most. And it's either high levels of testosterone, you need to get in the gym. And low levels of testosterone, you need to get in the gym. Facts, brother. If you're having some low T, of course, the doctor wants you to get on TRT, but I promise you, if you can just hit some squats every once in a while, you might naturally boost your testosterone. So,
testosterone boosts, mental awareness and body awareness improve.
Yeah, and confidence. Confidence that you can push 135, 205, 225 on your own back.
You don't have to be pushing weight either. Like we said, just showing up. Like I went 3 days this week. Oh my gosh, that's more than I went last week. Facts. Then just beat it.
And that's how you get yourself out of this slump, and out of the slump of fitness for sure. But I promise you that the fitness talk that we're having will get you out of these like psychological slumps that you're in, low points. It's coming together. No. Yeah, facts, man. I want to read you something really quick, and I want you to tell me your thoughts on it. Mm-hmm. If we find ourselves with a desire that nothing in this world can satisfy, the most probable explanation is that we are made for another world. Do you mind me reading that again? Yeah. If we find ourselves with the desire that nothing in this world can satisfy, the most probable explanation is that we are made for another world. Let me airdrop this to you so you can like get a visual as well.
I appreciate that. Yeah. It's a very deep question. It's not even a question, more of like a statement and like the form towards a question, but
I texted it to you, so it could come up on your laptop or your phone. Hopefully it comes through. But while we wait on that, I want to hear your thoughts before I try and explain. I don't want you to be biased, so read it, and I'm gonna read it one more time. If we find ourselves with the desire that nothing in this world can satisfy, the most probable explanation is that we are made for another world. And that's by C.S. Lewis.
Let me see. It took me to an article. Is it an article of C.S. Lewis quotes?
Yes.
Let's see.
Copy image. Here we go. I'm just going to text you the image. Hopefully that works better. Yeah.
I think I can get behind.
Give it 1 second. my Apple just did its woof. And if you're texting me in green bubbles, I love you, but I'm not a fan of you.
Another pet peeve.
Yes.
This pet peeve section is just going to keep going. I think we'll try to keep to a segment. We'll just start
Facts,
complaining
facts.
about life in general. But I'll go ahead and start. Like, there are a few like overarching topics that come to my mind, and one of them was actually dying to your cross. The other is like how we are the apex creature here on planet Earth. If you want to physically look at it, or spiritually look at it, there are a number of things that back this. I think it was actually a moment that when my friend Nick, he's an entomologist who went to undergrad and everything, he studies plants and animals, deals with many different kinds of insects who are just trying to survive, trying to like get better, do better in every single aspect. And that's all their goal is. They don't have a mentality, they don't have like a psyche that's like telling them otherwise. But his biggest thing was that there is no other creature that was made like us.
Yeah.
There's no other creature as expansive and as aware as human beings are, too aware for our own good. And so with that, I don't have the picture yet, but no matter what that is saying is that nothing of this earth will ever prove to be
My girlfriend on accident.
nothing on this earth will ever prove to like extinguish the desire that you have.
Fiance, correction. Sorry.
He has a fiance, not a girlfriend. If we find ourselves with a desire that nothing in this world can satisfy, the most probable explanation is that we were not meant for this. Yes, there is nothing on this earth that would actually please me.
So there's a few ways that I view this. So yes, spiritually, that we're not meant for this world. Like there's something more than that, right? So now I want to bring it back to this world, right? So if we find ourselves with the desire that nothing in this world can satisfy, the most probable explanation is that we were made for another world, right? So let's say you're in this point where this job doesn't feel like it's the right place to be. This situation with this group of friends doesn't feel like it's the right place to be. It's because you're meant for something else. You're meant for something more. And that's something that that I got out of this quote is in those moments, everyone, that you are struggling and you're in this like repetitive cycle of living for the weekends, drinking every Friday night, getting drunk, or like feeling empty every single weekend. There's something more for you. There's something else that you need to be chasing. And sometimes it's a group of friends. Sometimes it's the people you surround yourself with.
Sometimes it's a dollar amount.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe you're chasing the dollar amount, and that's not what you should be chasing. Like, there's just so many other concepts in this world, or something else for you in this world, you know? And that's the way that I'm viewing that. Like, again, I can view it spiritually, but I want to dive into what's in this moment, in this realm of, because it kind of could be confusing. And this is where it's beautiful that people can interpret things differently.
Yeah.
But I interpreted that in the sense of find something that makes you happy. And if you're not happy, there's something out there for you.
Keep exploring, keep looking.
Yes, exactly. Keep exploring. I love that.
Transcend your situation.
Yeah, no pun intended. No pun intended, guys.
I do love that quote. I think it's a great quote. My first thing was to go spiritual with it, as we were meant for heaven, as we were meant to join our Father.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the first thing that I got to.
I love that, and I love that you're speaking on that, and I appreciate that a lot because it's true.
Yeah,
So,
we're too expansive for anything to really please us. In fact, there are many studies in a class that you can take done by Ivy League schools. I think it was I forget the school. It's free. It's online. Don't quote me. But there are many studies that show like for every extra dollar that you make, you become even more unsatisfied. So if I made $300,000 a year, and someone was like, "Hey, do you want $400,000 a year?" If I lived with $300,000 a year for several years, I'd go, $455 is what I really wanted. Are you kidding me? Like that right there says enough. Like per dollar, like for every dollar that you make, you're probably looking at another $1.50 that you are wanting more.
Well, our current culture teaches like that you should never be satisfied. But in reality, like the average American's like salary is 40 grand. That's the average pay.
Is the average.
So if you're getting 90, like, and I'm not trying to sell anyone short. If your ambitions is to make more money than that, go for it. I don't care. But like, why are we always striving for more? Why are we always like, that's almost counterproductive to like what my brand means, like always grow in every area. but it's the money hungry concept. I want to be clear on that. Like being money hungry doesn't bring satisfaction, or right? Is that the right
Yeah,
way?
it doesn't leave you gratified.
Yeah, gratified.
You know?
Yeah.
It's, I guess you could say, in a lot of like bringing this back to like an analogy, like a small analogy. If you are consumed by your weekends, by party aspects, by like what social groups you're a part of, by gaining more followers on social media, maybe even money for that instance, and yet you feel that something's missing.
Yeah.
Like you're basically filling your life in our perspective, I would say, shared on this. But you know that bag of chips I was talking about? Empty carbs. You're filling your small void for that moment, in that moment, but it's not going to last. That's where, like, that's why I went religion in the first place, to like help fill that, because there really isn't. I'm gonna get used to $400,000 a year. My Porsche is gonna drive the same speed limit as fast as as I push down the gas pedal. Like I could have it made and yet still look at my situation and find something wrong with it. Are you kidding me? Not meant for it.
Yeah, and it's because what society pushes also, like we live in this realm where everyone is going one way, and as soon as you try to go the other way, like you're wrong or you're going the wrong direction, you know? And that direction that everyone else is going is always money hungry, chasing money.
Dude, I know. It's tough.
Yeah, and it's tough because also, like, you got to live.
You got to live. It's by economic downturn, 7% and growing more. That it's harder to afford things these days. Yeah. But this is also like a moment that we need to turn to our brothers and sisters. We need to turn to our family. If you don't have a family, like you can find a community. Yeah. You have way too many excuses to not find a community, whether you're religious, not religious, or against one side or the other. You are surrounded. The world has shrunk. Social media is a thing. You can find a community. In that sense, yes, like go out, explore, transcend.
Oh, facts. And the last thing I'll say is money does not buy happiness, and I feel like broke people say that, but it's just the truth, guys. Like, you can make so much money in the world, but I feel like sometimes the richest people in the world are the people searching for happiness.
Yeah. It is facts. It's born by and bred by so many studies out there that your community experiences, the experiences that you share, that help your development, that help you, or just like make you happy because you're actually yourself. And that's on being yourself. But those moments mean more than all the money in the world. I know it's cliche to say.
No, it really is, man. That's so true. Yes. So, yeah, brother. And I think this was awesome. This was a great talk. If you enjoy the apparel that we're wearing today, you can definitely get that apparel at projecttranscend.net. We got the Project Transcend shirt right there. We got the P and the T hybrid shirt with the Transcend running down the spine.
These are popping, y'all.
Yes.
I'm not going to lie. Like they're long too. I got a long torso. I finally like have something that fits right in my arms. Like, but you don't have to. Like, I would call this also a comfortable at-home shirt.
Yes, sir. Again, projecttranscend.net. With everything you do, work at it with all your heart. See you.